In a quiet town nestled between forested hills and winding rivers, there lived a man named Joseph. He wasn't famous. He wasn't rich. He didn't own a big business or have thousands of followers online. But every morning, for the past 15 years, Joseph did something extraordinary. From a tiny wooden stand on Main Street, he served free coffee to anyone who passed by. No prices, no tips, no donation box. Just a simple sign that read, "Coffee with a smile free for everyone." Some people called him the Coffee Man. Others called him strange. But over time, more and more people came to see him for who he truly was, a quiet man doing something quietly powerful. Rain or shine, Joseph was always there by 6 a.m., pouring hot coffee into paper cups, greeting everyone with the same gentle smile and a few kind words. Most people only stayed for a minute or two. But those few minutes mattered more than they knew. For the high school teacher rushing to class, Joseph's warm greeting reminded her why she loved teaching. For the young man battling depression, those 2 minutes were the only time someone looked him in the eyes and asked how he was really doing. For the elderly man across the street, Joseph's smile was the only human connection he had each day. Joseph's coffee wasn't special, but his presence? That was something people didn't realize they needed until they had it. But Joseph wasn't always this way. Just 10 years earlier, he had lost everything, his wife, his home, even his sense of purpose. "I was walking through life like a ghost," he once told a visitor. "Then one cold morning, I sat on a bench in a city I didn't know, and a stranger handed me a cup of coffee. He looked me in the eyes and asked how I was doing. That moment, it woke something in me. It warmed more than my hands, it warmed my heart. That was the spark. And from that spark came his mission. If one cup of kindness could bring him back to life, maybe he could offer that same light to others. So he built a little stand out of scrap wood, bought a small propane stove, and started brewing coffee on the sidewalk. He never missed a day. Until one day, he did. It was the middle of winter. For the first time in 15 years, the coffee stand stood empty. No steam. No warm greetings. No Joseph. People waited, confused. Maybe he was running late. Maybe he had an emergency. But then came the second day. And the third. The town felt different. Colder. Quieter. Turns out, when someone shows up for you every single day, you notice when they're gone. The bakery owner down the street started asking around. The librarian called every hospital nearby. Finally, someone found him, home alone, sick with the flu. Too weak to get out of bed. Too proud to ask for help. That next morning, something beautiful happened. A teenager brought her dad's camping stove. The nurse from the local clinic made a fresh pot of coffee. The florist brought a small bouquet to place on the stand. A group of high school students held up the sign, "Coffee with a smile still free." They weren't trying to replace Joseph. They were continuing his kindness. One by one, people showed up, not just for coffee, but for him. For an entire week, the coffee stand stayed open without him. And every day, someone new stepped up to serve. When Joseph finally returned, pale and shaky but smiling, he found his stand surrounded by something more powerful than money or fame: gratitude. Dozens of handwritten notes taped to the cart fluttered in the wind. "You reminded me I matter. Your kindness helped me through my darkest days. You gave me hope without even knowing it." Joseph didn't pour coffee that day. He just stood there, tears in his eyes, being served love. From that point on, something shifted in the town. The stand stayed the same, still simple, still free, but now there was a small box beside it. Not for tips, not for money. It said, "Acts of kindness, drop one in, pick one to try." Inside were little cards. Help a neighbor with groceries. Call someone you've lost touch with. Leave a kind note for a stranger. People came for the coffee, but they left with something more, a reminder to be good, to be present, to care. Joseph became a quiet legend, not because he wanted attention, but because he gave attention to the people most often overlooked. He never preached, never pushed. He just showed up. And in doing so, he taught an entire town that kindness doesn't need a reason or a reward. It just needs a willing heart. Today, Joseph is older. He walks a little slower. His hands tremble sometimes as he pours the coffee. But the line at his stand is longer than ever. And every person in it knows that what Joseph serves isn't just a warm drink. It's a daily reminder of what truly matters. You see, in a world that often celebrates loud voices and fast results, Joseph offered something else: consistency, presence, and love without conditions. He proved that you don't need to be rich to be generous or powerful to make a difference. Sometimes all it takes is one person and a cup of coffee.